So when they shifter you, so
Oh no, Ben, we
you
lost
don't
you.
wanna-
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's your boy Logan JYA. Cheers to those joining us live. I am joined by who may very well be one of, if not the greatest Drytron player in the world. That is my man Ben on the stream. Over 100, I think it was like 117 players, something like that. I don't have the exact.
116. Yeah.
Oh wow! All right, good memory. This man went 7-0. This is post new support, the Raging Abyss set, the newest set that comes out for us in about a month and change. This man absolutely dominated the competition with Drytrons, clean, undefeated. Ben, you are the man who invented the Secret Village combo, and what everybody tells me in the comment section every time I do an Eva or a Perfection build, they're like, "Yeah, this is cool, Logan, but the Secret Village combo is better." And man, you might be proving them right. So today we're going to walk through your list. We're going to do a little bit of an interview, and we're going to talk about your results from the tournament. But before we do that, tell us why you think this is the best way to play Drytron.
Well, I think when I end on Secret Village and they can't go with the World Breakers cards like Droplet or Dark Ruler Normal, it makes it a little bit better. This build also plays around and through hand traps way better with Mewtwo. So I just feel like it's the superior build because of that. You don't need so much things to resolve, and suddenly you're putting your negates during the combo, and so they can less and less interact with you until they are locked out of the game.
Heck yeah, brother. All right, well, this is how we're going to do it. You guys know the deal. We're going to run through the list real quick. I'm going to pause and ask for questions. And at the tail end, we're going to be talking about matchups. Before we do that, Ben, anybody you want to give shout-outs to?
I want to give shout-out to Yotam, who helped me make this build, and the entire team, NDL. They know where they are.
Without further ado, let's dive on in. We're going to run through these monsters real quick. Y'all can see them on the screen, but I encourage you to stick around and listen because you're not going to want to miss a single piece of knowledge that Ben's about to drop on us, okay? So the ratio-wise, I'm going to start with the names here. We got triple alpha, triple zeta, double delta, double gamma. So we're doing a 10-card hard name lineup complemented by triple maxed out Mewtwo. This is a Mewtwo build, and this is probably the best way you're going to be leveraging Mewtwo out of any build you possibly could, putting up the Secret Village combo. If you haven't seen that combo before, we got it in the Drytron 101 playlist. Like I said earlier, Ben created this combo roughly 24 hours after the new support was announced. But some of our other cards we're playing, we're doing 2 copies of Diviner. Diviner is essential as your normal summon in the combo. We've also got the one, your Sartron. I almost forgot to shout this guy out along with the other names because he's a little weird. He's a level 7, but he does search off. Your Fafnir, again, is essential for the play. If you look in the extra deck, you can see why. And then for our flex spots in the monster lineup, we got triple of the Molcharmy. This is basically that new Maxi card. Punishes the opponent for summoning from deck or extra. Gives you a draw for each of them. And then we got triple Nib in the main as well. And we all know how powerful and prevalent Nibiru is going to be. Not only post-Raging Abyss, but right now in general.
So the Fuaris, I was like, which hand traps can I draw in combination to, be very effective? So I was like, I guess Imperm Nib, and it did work quite well. I mean, Yubel and Snake Eyes, they have to summon so much from deck and extra deck, so Forest is so strong in that sense. People will have to learn to play around it, and our deck plays... You can decide to just go for Mewtwo, for Mubeta, and Dad, and that's it, and end like that, and that's fine. Or you can decide to full combo, and usually, even if they draw full combo, they draw like 4 cards, I'd say. About 4 cards. And, okay, so you draw 4 cards, half of your cards are probably spells. They're not activatable if I end on Secret Village. So if you see, I've drawn Rivalry from the side deck, or Skill Drain, and this Skill Drain shuts them down, right? So you wouldn't go through Power Through, you just give them 1 draw, and on Mubeta, Dad, pass turn, you still have the Skill Drain or Rivalry or something like that, and you're good,
Absolutely.
So if I have those cards, I'll do a minimal board, and if not, then I'll power through.
Now, we got to mention this. So the Ritual lineup is so tight and condensed in this build. We've got double Ben 10, Dad, and OG Draco Nids. No Natasha, except for in the side deck. I mean, I get it,
Yeah.
okay? We're not... immediately after we resolved Mewtwo, which you clearly are doing almost every single turn, there's no need. You're not even able to commit to summoning anything else outside of the machine rituals. Did you ever find yourself missing the main deck Natasha or the additional copies of Ben 10, or was this the correct ratio for your build?
I was never missing more Ben 10 nor Natasha. I think this is the correct one. It feels good. It feels good to just draw one, not draw multiple. You know, if you draw one Ben 10 and one name, this doesn't do anything in this build.
Right.
Or in other builds, I don't think it does.
Not
much,
anymore.
So
I will say this: in the perfection build,
you could
we can still do Choju, and we
you could still do Shouju, but in this build, no, it doesn't do anything. You end on SP pass, you know.
But that's why we're maxing out names, right? You're gonna speed through the spells and traps real quick because we already talked about Imperm. You see, we got triple emergency, double Fafnir, triple Nova, Foolish, Medionis, Secret Village for the combo, and of course sacked by the grave. We're running a tight ship here. We're at 41 cards.
I just wanted to draw the Imperm Nib together with the Fuarus. If I had, you know, if my opponent played through it, then okay, I'll Imperm Nib you.
Why do you think that 3 new 2 is correct?
I mean, it's one of the good names. It's like playing 2 alpha because you don't want to draw 2 alpha. You wanna see it. You want to see it. You want to see alpha. This helps you play through things if you see it. It's not about like, can I draw it with other things? You just want to see it, you know?
Okay.
Eventually, if you draw it alone, you can't summon it. But if you draw any of the names alone, you can't summon them. So,
point taken. Point taken. And in many ways, it is your form of resiliency, right? Because this is going to be the card that you can think about the additional extenders that you have in your hand as copies of Call By. Because each interruption that you eat, the additional name that you have in your hand is going to help you push through and get to the end board. And that's what you were saying. As you were playing the deck, you were pushing through interruptions and it didn't matter. You got it down to a simplified game state. Even if you weren't able to go for full board, you can still put up Dad, and most decks just can't deal with like 2 to 4 monster negates on top of a spin.
True. You could even make some hand traps like they don't even do anything. Like Imperm, for example, I had my opponent sitting on Imperm. I just made that before I made Mubeda. He knew I have like a spell drop negate. He was like just holding the Imperm in hand because he couldn't use it.
Exactly. All right, well, we got the main board down. We're going to run through the side real quick. We got 1 skill drain, 1 rivalry, 1 Harpy's Featherstorm to go with the 2 thrust, choosing to go for Twin, double talent as well, Harpy's Dark Ruler, Natasha's chilling in the side along with triple copies of Mourner. I've got a few questions for you on the side here, and I'm going to start on the right-hand side here with the rivalry skill drain. Obviously, we can put up big boys, so I understand the reasoning as to why playing skill drain. But the rivalry has me a little bit interested. Obviously, it doesn't hurt us very much, but what is this coming in against and doing a heck of a lot of work post-Raging Abyss?
It's probably going against Snake Eyes and Memento. It is in the side. If you don't see those matchups, you don't have to put it in. But it works. When it works, it works. Usually when I see the rivalry, I try to prioritize Mubeda over Sacred Village. Or if I see that I can play around any hand trap that I can think about, then I'll do the Secret Village. And then if somehow, I don't know how they manage to somehow break it, you might put rivalry. Maybe if they evenly you just say, you know what, you can't play through rivalry, I'll just keep it instead of that. But yeah, it worked when it worked, yeah.
Now, I see, I also want to bring attention to the Twin Twisters, opting for this as our spell and trap removal. Obviously, we don't care too much about the discard cost that comes alongside it, but why did you choose to go with Twin over something like Cosmic that has a little bit more favorability in runic matchups, or something like Lightning Storm where there isn't a cost associated with it at all, and it's also a thrust target? What led you to Twin?
So I wanted the chainable spell trap removal just to deal with this rare, because it uses the effect and then it can negate up to the link rating it has equipped to it. So if you use something on field and want to negate it, you can chain twin, get rid of the sequence, and your whatever you activated resolves why not Cosmic? I just felt like it's more valuable to get rid of more things rather than hitting one thing. Yeah, I mean, if you hit the sequence and the field spell of Snake Eyes, it's slightly better than just Cosmicing the sequence.
Of course. No, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, we'll slide on out to the extra deck because I do have some additional questions for you here. We're going to close it out. We got 1 Underworld Goddess, 1 copy of the SP Little Knight, Anima, Phoenix, Ib, good choice, IP Little Knight, or IP Masquerena, Dynamondo, we've got Lyrilusk Assembled Nightingale, double copies of Moy Beta, Downard Zeus, and then we got our Diviner targets in the form of Herald Entis, and then the Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy is essential for your Secret Village combo. If you don't know it, check out Drytron 101 playlist. It'll tell you what you need to know. First question when we're looking at this extra deck here. No Fuko, yes Lyrilusk. This is always a debate I love to have. Anytime we're doing a profile and I see no Fuko, we got to talk about this. Why'd you land on Lyrilusk instead?
So specifically Neged Tenpai, when they shifter you, because if you land on Fuko, you have to detach 2 materials, you lose the 2 materials. So it just, in my experience, it was better to have 1 material under the Nightingale. And then if you get drolled and not shifter, you should do some sort of combo. You should play around droll. Your first searches probably have to be Dad or the ritual spell to play around droll. And also, people don't play much droll. So usually when you end on nothing, essentially Nightingale, usually you got shifted. And then they can't droplet the Nightingale because droplet doesn't work on shifter.
I'm actually going to make one more additional argument in your favor, which is weird for me to do because I've always been such a Fuko loyalist. Lyrilusk Assembled Night. So nowadays, with people choosing to play, which is the next card we're going to talk about, Underworld Goddess. Choosing to play Underworld Goddess is an inherent out to Fuko, and more people are playing it, especially the moon that climbs in the Fiendsmith deck. So Lyrilusk, if you shotgun it in standby phase, you're guaranteed to live, because you can't take any battle damage, unless they're playing against some gosh darn burn deck. Am I wrong here? Technically,
you should shotgun it when there's a card on field so you don't get impound, but yeah.
Fair
the moment they put a card on the field, you can activate the effect, and then you don't take any battle damage. You're guaranteed to get another turn.
Everyone, I'll leave it to your own devices. In fact, I'm going to start this one in the comments and in the chat right now. What do you prefer, Fuko or Assembled Nightingale? You let me know, and we'll get back onto it. Okay.
Also, I have another argument in the favor of Nightingale. If you think you can Fuko, usually you have to have something in defense position, and sometimes it's just not there. So if they got a pop or anything, and you have to attack something in attack position, you're gonna have to detach the 2 materials, and then you're gonna have to smack a downward on it, and it's gonna get popped.
Yeah.
So for Nightingale, if they have a pop, not something that punishes, but a pop, then you can still make Zeus protecting yourself essentially. Yeah, they have attack position monsters. Yeah.
That's a very fair point, everybody. Let us know in the comment section down below, what do you prefer, Fuko or Assembled Nightingale? Underworld Goddess, you're playing that. You told me earlier, before we started recording, that this took the place of Boral Sword or Access Code for you. Let me know why you didn't feel the need to play those cards, and why Underworld was a bit of a better choice.
So usually when you go Boral Sword, I felt like it's not hard to get the game with this deck. You have a 5k, whatever, 5k and a goddess, it's game, So it's easier than before to get to game. And also you gotta sometimes get rid of a pesky threat. And Boral Sword and Access Code usually do that. But also Goddess does that, I think, in the best way. So the opponent has to expect it. And when it drops down, it's already too late. For example, if the opponent has a Link 2, Heretic Seals, an SP, you have 3 monsters, you just link them all away, and you make Goddess. She also helps you to break boards if the opponent has some negates, and you have a bunch of monsters, as you do with the Drytron deck. You just make it, suddenly, even if they negate it, if it doesn't target her, all the effects are gone. So I felt like it helped me break boards easier than something like Access Code or Boral Sword would.
Understandable. I think I agree with your logic, and you're giving me some things to think about. For those of you who weren't in attendance for our most recent stream, I encourage you to check it out. You're going to see why I'm starting to turn coats towards the new 2 build. Alright, everyone. We're done with the profile portion, but we're not done with the interview yet. You're not scot-free yet, Ben. I gotta ask you a few more questions. First one being about the matchups, alright? What were we looking at for this massive tournament? 116 players, you came out on top 7-0 clean, undefeated. If you don't remember them all, that's okay, but what were some of the notable ones that you do remember?
So it was, first match was Ubel. The poor guy got Imperm Nib, and then...
That's all she wrote.
And then the next game we just got Flawless, and I draw like a billion cards, and there was no way for him to win that. Then it was Memento, and then Infernoid Snake Eye.
Oh,
that was
scary deck.
That was like 60 cards. That was a cool deck. Wow, I was very surprised. I saw the plays and I was like, wow, yeah, that does that. Because so the Snake Eyes complement the Infernoids because of the fire attribute, and the Fiendsmith complement them because it makes the fusion, the Fiend fusion. So that was surprising, but still lost to him, like lost to me. And then it was Tenpai, and then Memento, and then 2 more Tenpais. So the top tables were all Tenpai.
So even post the hit, Tenpai players were still kind of dominating out here. Tell me about it. What were their builds looking like? Anything notable?
Yeah, so the new Fuaris is pretty good. It helps them a lot. And also the new card Dominus Impulse.
Oh, right. It's the new Purge. What does it do again?
It negates special summons if you have a card on the field or a monster on the field. I don't know. But I mean, anything that would special, which was pretty crazy. I did not expect that to be that effective, but yeah, it's a very good card that we have to look out for. Yeah, Juarez and then Dominus makes them quite scary.
Agreed. All right, now we're going to bring this thing to a close right now. We're obviously looking at this list with the benefit of hindsight. I mean, you went undefeated. You won the whole freaking tournament. First place, clean win. Would you change anything, though, from playing the deck? Is there anything you'd see yourself maybe, this didn't perform so great, and maybe swap it out in the future? Or do you think this is the way to do it?
For the engine, I don't think I would change anything. I'll include in the engine the thrusts and the talents and whatever, the things we are used to do. But for the non-engine, I'm not sure this is the way. I was kind of testing it, trying to see what would be good for the format. It might be that we end on Board Breaker still. I'll have to see. But I think the main deck, the engine, is so strong that it doesn't really matter what you put with it, as long as it's not useless and doesn't do anything, as long as it interacts with the opponent, trades some negates or whatever, then you're gonna find success. I mean, even if I draw Imperm for turn, it was enough to like turn off the DDD that negates summons. That's good enough. I mean, you don't need much more than that. The engine carries itself.
Couldn't agree more on that, and I think that's the best note we could possibly go out on, my friend. Everybody, I'm going to round things out here. The last thing I'll mention, though, for those of you, obviously this is a post-Raging Abyss deck list. I'm just going to say this one right out there. If you want to make this TCG legal right here, right now, it could be as easy as taking out those Charmies, putting in some Chummies, or you could take out those Charmies and put in some Droplets. I'm just going to put that out there as an idea. If you wanted to change the list to play in the TCG right now, it could be that simple. But everyone, this is the man, the myth, the legend, the genius, Ben, Bing, chilling with us once more on the stream. Be sure to congratulate him in the comment section down below on a clean, undefeated win of an over 116-man tournament post-Raging Abyss. That's all we got today, guys. Logan JYA signing off. Have a great day, and we'll see you beautiful people later. Peace!